What is going on, guys? It's Adam, a.k.a. Marv, and this is Marfugal News. Tonight we're going to be covering a chilling story right after this. We'll be right back. Very smooth. A chilling story. What an intro. Piffed, PFFT. What is going on, guys? It's Adam A.K. Marv, and this is Marfugal News. Tonight, we have some very chilling stories to talk about, and I mean that. Obviously, there is a big event happening tomorrow, and a lot of you may actually be going, so I wanted to let you know what they're now doing to try to stop that, or what some think is going on. So we'll talk about that. We have a ton of stuff to talk about, including South Korea. Destroyer is now in the Strait of Hormuz, which, again, Strait of Hormuz, if you've been in this, area of things, then just Strait of Hormuz by itself is a kind of a trigger there. And then we're also going to be talking about the joint statement. U.S. intelligence agency claims SolarWinds hacked that. Of course, again, new updates on that. And then, of course, the message that went out to the broadcast, or a legally broadcast to FAA aircraft controllers, or air traffic controllers, basically saying that they were going to get revenge. And by they, I'll explain here in just a minute. But before we start, let's make sure to get this out of the way. Nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. And if you are not getting notifications, make sure to go to marfugalnews.com. You can actually get push notifications from us. Again, don't depend on the algorithm gods, and don't say, oh, I didn't get notifications until 3 days later, so I watched the replay. We send out our own. Mind you, tonight, the system, I guess, one signal is down. So lots of things have been going down lately. Again, that's what we warn you about. Let's bring in Dex before I bring to the next part. Dex, what is going on? Dex is my co-host and internet brother. How are you doing today?
Hello, Adam, and hello, Fugal fam. I'm feeling different today. We had to go out and pull the lever on the machines again. This was our big day here in Georgia.
So, of course, you had the runoff there, and, we'll probably cover that on tomorrow's show. Again, just to let you know, before we lose a lot of people, we're going to have a big show, D-Live only. We're going to talk about pretty much everything and anything. So remember to tune in tomorrow over there. I know that there's going to be a few that are like, I hate this. That's fine. The replay will be available through a link on our website after that. But if you want to be for the live event, I would highly recommend being there. There are reasons for everything we do. We are still here while others are not. Obviously, they can say, "Oh, they're still on because they're this or that," when really it's because of the same things that they criticize us for. Shill this or shill that. Okay, but we're still here. If we, say words differently, or if we carefully back up our stuff, then, that's what we have to do. And I've known since the beginning, I knew 2.5, 3 years ago that there was going to be purges, and there's been tons of them. So again, we've made it through almost all of them, but again. All right. By the way, you can follow along all of the articles here. We back them up with a source, so you know what source they're coming from. Of course, who is saying what. You can go to our website. In fact, if you renew it right here, you will see it's very easy to navigate. Just go to this thumbnail. We interrupt your normal broadcast to bring fear. Of course, once you click on that, you'll see that it has every single tweet, every single article, every single video, archive document, document that we are going to show you here today will be right there. And then on the right side, if you want to support us, you can use our Amazon link if you just click that box. If you are already using Amazon, of course, a lot of you are using it every day. You do have to use it every single time you go to shop there. But again, just click on that for 24 hours. It will go and it will credit us with a small commission, and it won't cost you anything else extra. And then, of course, all of our affiliates are over there as well, including a QR code, which you can go to, and boom, it just brings you there. All right, and then let's see here. In fact, you can, that's even cooler. You can actually go to any of our stuff just by scanning that with your phone right now. I didn't even think about that. All right, let's get through with it. We've got some pretty crazy stuff here. Dex, before you go anywhere, can you explain the NASA to air departure upgraded SpaceX cargo? Can you explain this for us?
Yeah, certainly, Adam. So, they're getting ready to televise, I guess, and air the, and this was a release from NASA about the SpaceX Cargo Dragon. So it's been attached to the space station, and apparently coming up soon, I believe it's January 11th, they're going to actually fill it up with a bunch of cargo, basically, I guess, a bunch of science experiments that have been going on in space, fill it back up into there, and then bring it back down to Earth. So it's, again, one of our, cargo missions, if you call it that, where we're supplying and bringing back things from space with commercial vehicles. So they're going to be, televising it. So it's kind of an interesting thing if people like to watch that stuff. They were just making a big deal about airing it. And I think it's going to push back for a little bit, and then it's going to do a descent, and then it will go through the atmosphere and land, I believe it's in the Atlantic Ocean with a parachute.
And who knows what will happen. We've seen a lot of these things that they say is going to happen then, and then it ends up being canceled or moved back, or they cut the feed or whatever else. So I'll definitely be tracking that story for sure. Want to say there's already a bunch of Fugle Fam members here. Thank you guys for the immediate support of the show. Seriously, a bunch of people came in hot. So thank you guys. You're supporting you're supporting us, you're supporting Dex and I, and you're supporting independent journalism. As you guys know, we actually pass that forward, and we support a lot of small creators, including over on DLive. In fact, that very publicly, we have been a financial supporter of, I want to say, a few hundred channels now. So Macaduda Arizola says, blessings, Adam and Dex. Love the Fugle fam. Let's all stay safe and ready. Thank you so much. Kathleen Gilly just came in with a super chat. No comment. Thank you so much. Cheryl Beth Carter says, USUS T-Man 111 USUS. P.S. Love the fam. Thank you, Cheryl Beth Carter, with an 1111 super chat there. Lola Cafe, love the name. Love that you've been here for now a long time, 2 years plus. Peggy Neal, love you, Adam and Dex. Thank you for all your hard work and bringing us true news. American Patriot, thank you for the support there. Time for Change, Cycler is back. Of course, we met you yesterday as your new name. I think it was Revealin' or something like that. This one is a coffee for Dex. Well, thank you, Time for Change. And then Bonnie Whitehead says, get ready for SH blank F. It is here now. So on that last one, I agree. And right now, again, I hope that people have heeded our advice over the last 3 years. I don't think it's the end of the world today, tomorrow, or anytime soon, hopefully. But again, I do think that people need to take some of this seriously as far as the stuff that we've already shown you, what has been said today. Now, what has been said today, it is pretty unanimous. I'm going to show you the comments under that video. In fact, Dex, could you pull up the Marfugle News video and just give me the link to that so I can go directly there? It is pretty crazy, the ratio of comments of what people think about that story. And I'm going to let you guys read that because, honestly, most of them, yeah, you'll just have to see it. Again, we'll talk about that here in a second. It's basically air traffic controllers were told or I guess there was a broadcast that went over and superseded what they were listening to, and it was a message saying that, you took out our guy, we're going to get back at you, we're going to take aircraft, and then we're going to take them into the Capitol. Most people are saying that's a no-fly zone. The second people come in, anything that is the size of a bird comes in, it's going to be pew-pewed down. But on the other hand, unless they want it to, that's what I have to say about that, because obviously things happened, and of course they said, oh, well, we just happened to be doing a drill on the other side of the country and couldn't scramble in time. Those kind of things happen, or at least they've happened before, right? Yeah. 2001, September. Yeah, that one. So I wouldn't put it past for anything else. Again, I would not be surprised by anything. And that's why I keep my head on a swivel at all times. I know that every single day on this earth is a blessing. I know that I do not take this life for granted. I've almost died several times. I believe I've been protected at least long enough to do whatever I'm doing now. I honestly didn't ask for any of this, and incredibly blessed to have all of you guys here. So thank you. Let's get into it. White House's planetary protection strategy is about space invaders, but not the kind you may think. Now, just by the title there, I mean, now there's a planetary protection strategy. Again, I've been telling you guys for 3 years, but of course, you guys already know. As military and commercial activity in space increases, there is a growing risk of unwanted guests coming back to Earth. And it says the National Space Council and Office of Science and Technology Policy, or OSTP, has released a new version of its national strategy for planetary protection. It says the document is about alien invasions, but not the kind we are most accustomed to from science fiction. It actually outlines various strategies and policy goals that various stakeholder agencies, including NASA, the Department of Defense, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, can employ to ensure the, quote, sustainable exploration of space by appropriately protecting other planetary bodies and the Earth from potentially harmful biological contamination from space exploration activity. So, just to break that down real quick before we move on, because that's kind of a mouthful there, it says employ to ensure, because I think this might be important later, the sustainable exploration of space by appropriately protecting other planetary bodies and the Earth from potentially harmful biological contamination from space exploration activities. What the hell do they mean from that? Dex, do you what did you think when you read that?
Well, I think that this is a noble cause, but to me it's more of a footnote of what you would be doing up there. But it's interesting that they're putting it front and center. So ultimately I think that what they're really doing is exploring and potentially trying to deal with extraterrestrial beings, if there are such out there. But what they're really saying is, hey, we're just worried about some funky space dust that may come back that has the next virus on it that's going to cause a problem. So we don't want that to come into our atmosphere and get everybody sick, right?
So you probably haven't seen it, but it's like Monsters or Love or something. I want to say it was an on-demand movie that just came out. It was supposed to come out in theaters, and the plot line is that meteors were headed towards Earth, and they sent a bunch of nukes up to hit them out of the sky. And what happened is they hit the meteors, and everybody was cheering and all happy because they knocked the meteors from hitting Earth. But what happened is all the radiation came back down, and it turned all of the regular animals and things into these crazy beasts. In fact, the whole movie has a 40-foot frog that, has a 30-foot tongue and tries to kill the guy, the whole, first scene of the movie. Again, it is actually such good graphics and everything else. It's actually a believable It's a believable scene when you're watching it, right? Of course, now the movies are insane, but it was actually a pretty entertaining movie. But, is that kind of some sort of predictive programming? Are they actually going to worry about something like that? Why do they have Starlink, which, again, a lot of people just think, oh, it's just internet. It's just fast internet. In fact, I just heard a DLive streamer the other day say, oh, I can't wait for them to get all the Starlink up because it will be awesome for, say, platforms like DLive. Because think about it, more people around the world will have access to the internet, therefore more viewers from around the world. And guess where they're going to go? They might actually go to DLive or some, decentralized, place. So again, great for that, right? But what else is Starlink for? If you're new here, I have proved, and now they have now announced that Starlink is also for detecting objects coming in. They've added sensors to Starlink that will detect hypersonic speed objects, and that includes meteors and hypersonic missiles, whether they be nuclear or natural from outside of space. But what is really weird is just this like little tiny part of the back of my brain, and I'm sure there's some of you that may agree. Do you think that some of all of these space missions and Space Force just maybe might be because we pissed off somebody, or what the Israeli retired general said, that we've had a contract with aliens for 50 years and T-Man was about to tell everything about it. Our commander-in-chief said that he was going to release everything on aliens, and then he says what happened is they told him, no, humanity's not ready yet, so he didn't. That was supposedly the story. The real story is, T-Man actually said, hey, we're going to release all this stuff. Even before that, in 2016, Podesta and all these other people, actually there was something going around that they were going to release some information. So is there going to be a big disclosure? Are we going to find out that there's multiple species and that one of them is now pissed off at us, and now we're actually making, with the help of other aliens, some sort of defense system towards something? That is not what I'm saying. That does sit in the back of my head. I always leave doors open. As far as a meteor coming at us, I think that's a matter of time. It's not an if it will happen, it's a when it will happen. As far as this goes, the planetary protection, it says the national strategy for planetary protection comes on the heels of several other significant space policies released by President Xi. It says the most significant of which being the creation of the U.S. Space Force. The world's superpowers have been jockeying for position in the new space race over the last 2 decades, and questions and concerns over the militarization of space loom large. Now, again, they just came out just a few months ago. DOD said that the other bad actors, or Russia and China, have indeed militarized space. They said it straight up in a press conference, and it was just happened to be. I don't believe there's any coincidences, and once you see that, really, if you just take out the fact it's a coincidence, it starts to really come together, and it really just starts to seem like, wow, we're just lied to every single day. It's completely obvious, but you're looking at a pig and they go, no, that's a giraffe. And if they say it's a giraffe long enough, you're going, okay, I guess the new definition of a giraffe is a pig. Then you do. But with everything that's happening, I honestly don't know about what the heck is going on. They're telling us one thing and something else is happening. That was days after the Beirut explosion, which was pretty insane. And they still don't have exact answers of what happened there, if you know what I mean. It tore up a place. It looked like a nuke went off. But I guess it was fireworks. Sprinklers, maybe. Or what do you call them? Maybe Roman candles. Who knows? Earth is spinning faster than at any time in the past 50 years. So, obviously, headlines like this grab me right away. I don't know what they say to you, but I have followed different things like the massive earthquakes like Boxing Day. Of course, you had Japan in 2011. They say that those earthquakes were so big that they either shortened the day or lengthened it by like 0.1 second. Earthquakes big enough to tilt the wobble of the earth. Now they're saying it's actually spinning faster than it was before. It says year 2021 is set to fly by as the Earth is spinning faster than at any time in the past 50 years, prompting scientists to call for the addition of a negative leap second. Dex, so does this mean we're going to have to set our clocks back 3 seconds or something?
Yeah, I mean, technically it sounds like we would have to change them. Although most of our clocks, at least on our devices, are set by, standard servers that would handle that for us. But yeah, we would lose a second or a few.
So wait a second. So this is the same kind of thing that happened when we had that big earthquake. And that was due to what they said was a wobble. So are we wobbling more, or are we truly going faster? And why would we be going faster, and what's going on? It says the world's timekeepers are now debating whether to delete a second from time to account for the change and bring the precise passing of time back into line with the rotation of Earth. It says, well, the addition of a so-called negative leap second has never been done before. A total of 27 leap seconds have been added since the 1970s. It says, in order to keep an atomic time in line with solar time. This is because for decades, the Earth has taken slightly longer than 24 hours to complete a rotation. But since last year, it's been taking slightly less. Isn't that a trip? So it was actually taking longer than 24 hours to make a full loop, and now it's taking less. That sounds like something is changing, or we're getting farther away from the sun. Isn't that what they say that we're doing? You can put it in the chat. I'm going to hop over there. By the way, Claudette Hernandez, thank you so much for your support tonight. Frequency says, ordered 2 earthing mats today. Can't wait to try it out. I hear great things. Much love, and Marf and fam. Hey, that is seriously awesome. We don't even... they were working on their systems, so we haven't even really talked about them. So for the fact that you went in there and found it on the website is pretty amazing. I have been doing earthing, and Dex has been doing earthing. I've been doing it for over a year now, and it really helped my intestinal stuff. It helped my swelling. It helped my carpal tunnel. I mean, it helped a lot of stuff. It's all about inflammation, and inflammation is the root cause of everything. So you already know that. Again, that's why I didn't believe in it, I guess, when I first started it. Now I tell everybody I know about it. So again, thank you. Again, that's earthing. If you've never done it, ask somebody in chat. There's plenty of people who have been doing it for decades. It's I've actually reduced the amount of medicines I take for my intestines after using it. All right, and then we've got Hesham Alamari. Thank you so much for your support. I don't know if that was a super sticker, but you didn't write anything. You can always write a message or say hi, and then it will end up on the actual the ticker here. So thank you. Sad Sky says, not on the show for copyright reasons. Watch Katy Perry new End of the World video. They saved the world by unplugging the internet. Oh, that is freaky. I'm sorry, and the fact that it's Katy Perry too. She's probably trying to say something. She probably found something out. What I do know is that Katy Perry is probably, stuck up in the Hollywood stuff, but I met her and I feel like she was like super down to earth, didn't have security, nothing. She was downtown Seattle, like asking for directions, and I was like, "You're Katy Perry." She ended up being like super cool and kick it. What I felt like though was that she was being taken advantage. That was when she was younger. So I wonder if she knows something and she's putting something out in her art or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if she even writes her own songs though. Half of those people don't. Liz LaMarche, hi all. Shout out to my hubby DM walking. Happy B-Day, love. Liz LaMarche, your wonderful husband. Hopefully he's watching right now. Again, hubby DM. Happy B-Day. Happy birthday. And then we've got Sarah Hogue, Light Warrior for the Rainbow Road. And Jimmy, thank you for super chatting. I guess that's just Jimmy. All right. Now that that's done, Nick in the Noise just got 2-year sub to Nord. Can't believe I lived without it. Everyone should have this. Keep it up, Mark. You guys, thank you. Thanks for doing it for me. Susan, I'll get back and I will actually, I want to, dear, okay, I won't wait on that. Dear Adam, Dex, Mod, Squad, and Fugle Fam, I already had something planned for you, Susan. But by the way, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. In hindsight, I'm confident that we'll all agree all of these wicked shenanigans were for the best. Hashtag Team Humanity. Thank you, Susan. Much respect. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your support along with others like Bill I. Breckenridge, Amy R., Gone Girl 777, all amazing, amazing people. I'm just very lucky to have you guys, all of you. All right, let's see here. What do you think about this? I'm going to go over to the general chat here. Let's see here. Somebody said Katy Perry is evil. Let's see here. And she very well may be. Let's see here. Katy Perry is satanic. The symbology in her videos is disgusting. I don't so much disagree with you. I don't really watch her, but yeah. Art Darnell says exposure. Let's see here. Spooky Fast. Angel Webster. Somebody says some of these trolls are absurd. If we do have trolls, we have 5,000 people sometimes. We have 15,000 people watching live. If there are trolls and they're genuinely being trolls, ask them how their day is going. You know, some of the people that are my, best friends now that have, started out as trolls. I'm not going to, put them on blast, but there were people that genuinely came in here kicking the cat where they were having just really crappy problems and crap going on in their own life. And they came to somewhere like this where it was anonymous and they took it out on other people. And once they genuinely just sat around and people kept being nice after they were being assholes, they ended up coming around and it was great. So just remember that people have a lot going on right now, especially with everything with the virus and the, lockdowns and all this crap. Just give them a chance and try to be nice and see if they still don't want to be here. The mods are great because they always try that. They always try to be nice first. Let's see. Talon, Morrison, Trolls Matter. The thing is, and nobody's calling anybody if somebody was saying that in response. By the way, no worries. Again, it's all perspective. Also, people can type things and it gets taken wrong. If you guys have ever texted somebody and they take the context wrong, it's the worst. I mean, you just can't type and get that inflection there. Michael Matos, again, love all. I agree with that. I just stroll, says Dolly Bear. Colorado Cajun says, thanks for the gift. It looks like somebody gave them a Marfia badge. Always do good for evil. Again, make sure to thank the mods. They have to put up with all of the negative stuff, and what they do is they try to turn it into positive. Looks like we at least have Rip Curl and others in here, so thank you guys. Red in the Valley, See the Magic, Thomas Harder, Brian Knight, longtime listener, Steve Brady, Time of the Signs, we got Puss in Boots, Harry the Rabbit. Let's see, Ferret Dad. Hey, welcome back. Nice to see you again. All right. Let's get into the next one, and then we've got... Okay, this is a trip. I actually went through this kind of twice looking at some of this. So, Dex, do you want to go over this as well? Dex found this, and me and him were going over this, and it's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, certainly. So, they've been doing these flybys, and when I say flybys, they're not over the top of the airspace. They're on the edge of the legal airspace around Area 51 where they can fly, but they're using high-powered cameras to try to take pictures and see what's going on. We've seen these before. We reported on these before, these, interesting hangars or a new hangar that's being built, et cetera. But what they've done here is they've actually, in this recent photo, they found this triangle-shaped craft under one of the what they call a scoot and hide hanger. And a scoot and hide hanger is a hanger where you basically can pull in and basically hide the craft, move it around. It's not necessarily a traditional hanger where you would actually park it for long term. It's like bring it in, make sure when it's sitting on the ground, it's covered. And what you also see in these pictures that they've taken, so in addition to that first picture, where you can sort of zoom in and see the blurriness of this very sleek triangle looking craft, but then you can also see the progression once you get past that video from like 2002 when this scoot and hide hanger was started, and then how it advanced over time. 2006, they put a turnaround on the backside of it. And then later in 2010, they started to add antenna arrays around it, which would have been used for probably unmanned aerial crafts, right? And then now, as we get up to pictures that are of recent times, and even one near the end here about a high contrast where you can really zoom in and try to see that craft. So it's just, more speculation around what goes on at what I think it's called, officially called Groom Lake, but a lot of people know it as Area 51, and one of the newer hangars that's been progressing there over the years.
One thing I just noticed in this one picture, it almost looks like they put this building and then some sort of, I don't know if that's kind of funky. I don't know if they put dirt like kind of mounds around it so you couldn't see in from anywhere. Even if you were looking with, say, with binoculars, you couldn't see in here because it looks like what there is some sort of mound or landfill. But it also looks like an eyeball. If you turn this upside down, that would look like an eyeball staring at you. But yeah, these are the pictures, and it progresses. Is this the same thing we covered before? Remember the story that we covered probably, 7-8 months ago, and it was talking about the drone swarms, and it was saying that there was possibly a place at Area 51 where they could tell by how they made it that it was for bringing in, fixing, pulling over to the other side these drone swarms that they were going to start using.
Yeah, it's very likely it would have been this hangar that they were talking about, this hide and scoot hangar where you can just sort of bring stuff in quickly, because they did over time add these antenna arrays that are down the side of the building. So maybe that has something to do with it and why people were speculating that. Of course, all of this is just speculation. None of this is officially released. It's just what we're seeing from those that try to capture, images where they can get them legally. And then hypothesize on them. And I think there's another picture of a bunch of hypersonic shape crafts that were originally designed or at least illustrated from the 50s to the 60s. So, of course, those things, if they're in existence now, are probably still hidden from plain sight, why they would use a hangar like this.
Yeah, I guess, in the movies, you always see some underground, kind of Star Wars type bay. But, it's most likely under some sort of big bay like that. So these are kind of the 2-3B or TR3Bs, or the versions that they've actually had. So these are all the supposed experimental crafts that they've done. So who knows? We may have been seeing U.S. government up there. But, again, now there's all this stuff coming out. The Israeli professor and retired general, somebody who is actually extremely respected, now basically saying, I'm old, I don't care anymore. If I would have said this before, I would have lost everything, but now I've got nothing to lose. He said that the U.S. government is working with aliens. And again, this sounds crazy. But he said that they've been working with aliens for years and years and actually had a contract with them. And what I feel like is that's the same stuff. If that's true, that would be the same stuff that all these other people are talking about, that where they had a contract where they could experiment on people, and in return they would get technology. What is freaky, though, is if you see how genuinely fast technology went up just from 50 years ago. If you take the chip in a birthday card that you open up and it sings happy birthday to you, that chip has more computing power than what supposedly took us to the moon. Than the computer on the lander that supposedly landed on the moon. That's why a lot of people have a hard time, thinking that it actually landed on there. Just cause. I don't think the computing power in a flip open birthday card could land on the moon. But that's what they say. That's how much more powerful our computing is now than back then. So it's pretty weird. Again, very interesting article. It's a very long one, but it goes very in depth. I would highly recommend it. You can go to marfugelnews.com to finish it. Of course, that would be appreciated if you go over and check out all of the other stuff there as well. But yeah, we have access to everything there for your convenience. And then if you guys like to support us in a different way and protect yourself, if you haven't already, now it's almost like some people want this by tomorrow, but there's usually 1 or 2 day or something like that, but probably won't get it by tomorrow. In fact, I got a message today saying, hey, could we get one of these by tomorrow? EMP Shield, it is basically, it grounds the signal before it fries a device. This isn't just some, Joe Schmo company or something made in China. This is made in the U.S. It is owned by veterans. Again, it can actually block against E1, E2, and E3. And this is one of the few companies mentioned in the EMP resilience report by the Department of Homeland Security. Not only that, have they worked with them, they've worked with DoD, and now they're officially on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. We've also shown you the some of the new orders that are going through are now employing EMP. So EMP Shield is one of the best ways to defend against an EMP. You can go to marfugelnews.com/EMP. It will also actually protect against solar flare protection up to 228,000 amps and lightning, which people don't think about until it happens, which your house insurance deductible on a lightning strike could be $1,500. This would pay for itself 5 times with one lightning strike. All right. Well, thank you guys for supporting. And for those that already have it, you guys know you can put it in your car. There's versions for your generators, versions for your solar system, all sorts of stuff. Again, that's marfugelnews.com/EMP. Don't tell us we didn't tell you so. All right. Let's see here. And then this should be, I think this should be bigger because of what I've heard, and we now have our guys drilling with South Koreans. Some of the weirdest night drills have been done with the South Koreans. So I watch everything they're doing as well. They have a lot of our tech. We are actually, I believe, and I don't know if this can be confirmed, so I always like to clarify. But I believe that we are outsourcing some of our really high-tech AI robots to South Korea. I'm pretty sure. And if I have an article, it would be actually on a show that I know exactly which show it's on, and it would be archived. But I do remember them doing that. The U.S. was talking about outsourcing some of their stuff. South Korea is very tightly kind of entangled with us because of course NK and all the situation over the last 3 years, but they've gotten even closer now because they've got some of our tech. It says South Korea says that the warship's mission is to prevent further seizures while they work through diplomatic channels to free the captured tanker. Now remember, there is a theory. In fact, a gentleman, the video is absolutely famous. It's him basically talking about files that he saw where he was in this discussion, and the guy came in, he goes, hey, we need to take out 7 countries in 7 years. And he went through the list, and this again was before like 3 of the ones on that list, and now Gaddafi and all those guys, all of them are gone, Hussein, all of them. And he says 7 countries in 7 years. And he says this scenario where there was a ship going through the Strait of Hormuz, and it was one of our own, and it gets attacked by another ship, one of our own, but painted like somebody else. You can guess what that kind of event would be called. It's actually happened in history, at least. I believe in WW1 or WW2. There was a scenario where I want to say, and you guys can fact check me and put it in the chat, where the Germans, I believe, had one of their own dress up as somebody in Polish military uniform and then threw a grenade in a school or something. So then when people saw and witnessed it and said they did this, then they were able to then go, look at the horrid things they've done. Come join us. We're going for them. That is called a certain thing, a Fantastic Freddy, what we call it here. But again, this is what we look out for. We look out for just, anything and everything. We're responsible adults that prepare for the inevitable, or for the possible, I should say, or reverse. In joint statement, U.S. intelligence agencies claim SolarWinds hack likely Russian in origin. So I keep my mind completely open, because I know that 90% of what I'm reading is propaganda, in my opinion. Again, that's my opinion. And I believe there is 10% truth and then 90% spin. And the way that we are spun is that we're always confused. I bet you most of you would probably be able to find out the 100% truth if you just went by your gut and said, well, that kind of feels wrong. But wait a second, why would he do that if he's this? Why would that happen there? That doesn't make too much sense. Well, if it doesn't, if you get what I mean?
Why do we always get these agencies, and you'll list them in a moment, I guess, when you read this, but it's always the same, and it's always like, oh, because these people have said it, then it must be accurate, as opposed to maybe an expert coming out saying, well, we've done this kind of analysis, and what we actually found is it is X, Y, and Z. It's like, just the title of these groups is important enough to you, and you should just believe it.
Yeah, no, I get you. Well, so, the whole thing with this is like, it's saying it's these. We don't know that. And it says likely. So why even say that? That's directing everyone towards this. And, Russia in itself, they do all sorts of crazy stuff. But again, it's like they point back and forth. And it's like we point out, and then they're pointing at each other. So it just seems pretty freaking weird right now, when considering we've got all this stuff going with the opposite side as far as China goes. It's pretty weird. And then if you look at the facts as far as the China task force, it's pretty obvious. So I don't know. Or it could be a combination of the proxies that are working with this right now. All right, let's see here. Somebody's talking about Tartaria. We've talked about that on the show. Lori D, what's going on? Art Darnell, tomorrow feels like a big trap. I don't think so, and I think that's what they got you thinking. Who knows, though? I would keep open. I'm on the other side of the country, so I will not be attending, but it would have been something pretty crazy to see cover as news. 6 million people possibly there. That's nuts. Let's see here. So this is a big deal. It says, at this time, we believe this was and continues to be an intelligence gathering effort. We are taking all necessary steps to understand the full scope of this campaign and respond accordingly, the agencies added. It says, this is a serious compromise that will require a sustained effort and dedicated effort to remediate. It says a series of hack attacks were first reported last month after hackers managed to penetrate SolarWinds Orion software, which was used by several major U.S. government agencies, all of the main military branches, all 5 military branches, and many Fortune 500 companies. It says CISA quickly directed U.S. government agencies as well as private users to stop using SolarWinds products. It says, but not before the hackers penetrated the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and Commerce, the U.S. Treasury, viewing Microsoft source code in the process, the company said. Now, Dex, what does it mean by when they were viewing Microsoft source code in the process? Is that saying that they might be able to have a way to get in it later?
Yeah, well, if they're looking at the source code, they're getting into something that nobody except Microsoft has access to. And so having access to that could, maintaining a copy of that or capturing that could give them information they could use to, create vulnerabilities or find vulnerabilities. And even worse is that they could have, if they have the right kind of access to that source code, they could actually have implanted something into that source code that might not have been detected. And then it could go on for years and be sitting there dormant.
Yeah, and now you've got the Black Start program. Now they say that and this very well, I mean, so I'll just say, sometimes I'm saying what my thoughts are. Sometimes I may say, some people think that maybe the Black Start was even told to you like that. Yesterday, they basically came out and said Black Start, the program that the U.S. government would go straight to if we had a major blackout, the entire U.S. country went down, a massive blackout, EMP, whatever it is, knocks down our grid. There is a plan. They've thought about this. They know about this, and they said basically that they would take it, they would go to that plan to restore the power. Now, if they know that entire plan, they can go in and they can actually stop it or keep it down and keep it from being restored. If they know the little points, then they can actually go there and sabotage them or whatever. So they went out and they actually found the Black Start. Why are they telling us that, though? Why did that get leaked? Maybe it's on purpose. So then when it happens, they go, oh, it was them or it was this or that. So I would just say, from my gut instinct, along with everything that we are getting factual-wise, they're all little pieces of the puzzle. Everything is compartmentalized from the very top. And once you've opened your eyes to the whole big wide world, and we're not talking about theories, we're talking about once you open your eyes to the corruption and level of craziness, these are all human beings in extremely powerful positions, and you have the rest of the world that isn't like us, right? They're just, you're talking about countries that you get pulled over, you hand a $20 bill to the cop, and they go, okay, go. There's plenty of countries like that. Now think about if you are doing international, treaties with everybody. How do you think you get those treaties signed? People are paying each other. People are bribing. Money is the root of all evil, and that is the just plain old fact. So when you look at all of this stuff, everything that's going on right now, that's when you start opening your eyes and going, nothing is as it says. Once you wake somebody up to the fact that all media, including Fox, even OAN and Newsmax, as much as, now they're better, but they're only doing stuff to jump on a bandwagon too. They're just going with it for that money, for that whatever. All of them. I mean, in 2 years they might do the same thing. We don't know. They might be bought. In fact, maybe they're good now, but they'll be bought by Murdoch or something like that because they've just grown into the biggest news or agency. Then they sell it to somebody who is in control. But the main point is, once you wake up somebody to the fact that every media is controlled, all of the ads, all of the things that are subconscious everywhere around you, it's like the movie They Live. Everywhere you see it, you don't realize it, but you're getting guided in every which way. That's why once you wake up, it's really hard not to see it. Do some of you agree? Once you know the signs and once you see it, then you see an event like, what happened in that country with the big boom, and you go, this just doesn't seem right. In fact, so many people said that just didn't seem right. But what happened? They drilled it into your head. It's this, and it's this. And even the most hardcore people, after 2 or 3 days, are like, yeah, it was probably that then. Because it was drilled over and over again. And if there was anybody convincing that said otherwise, they're gone. Just get rid of them. See what it is? I mean, that's the scary part about now. They always used to do that, and it would always convince, 80% of the people, but there would always be those 20% because they're listening to the very influential, couple people that are telling the truth, and they go, hey, here's like 5 things that are flawed by this. They're like, this doesn't make any common sense. And then each person they talk to, they wake up, they go, oh. Well, now they just get rid of that guy, and then boom, it's all gone. No common sense, no, they might think it in their head, but all their peers are making them feel bad for saying, I don't think so. Why do you think that there's this whole big stigma against preppers and all of this? This goes back to JFK. They attached crazy with preppers. When preppers is just doing the same thing military and government do every day. Regarding this story, perfect ending to this is, in response, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Russia had no part in hacking operations and that the accusations were unfounded and a result of blind Russophobia. Either way, I think they're probably in on it too, but I don't think it's just them. I think it's everybody over, or it could be a flip-flop and it's us. Just saying. You never know what's planned next. So, all right. Cat B says, true, like they attached crazy for people believing in UFOs. And back then, now it's okay. Now they tell the Navy that, report anything and everything. They can switch it in one day. Now people can talk about it. Now that Israeli retired professor can now say it, and it's not a big deal. It's weird like that. I think something is on the horizon, and it's much bigger than all of us. If you want to protect yourself in the cyber world, though, I highly recommend getting a NordVPN. Nord is one of the best, as I believe, who was that just said that? In fact, let's see here. Who said that? Somebody just said that they got a 2-year plan, and they said they didn't realize what they were missing. Oh, Nick in the Noise. Hey, thank you, by the way. Says, I just got a 2-year sub to Nord. Can't believe I lived without it. Everyone should have this. Keep it up, Marv. Thank you, Nick in the Noise. But again, if you don't have a virtual private network, I would go with any of them. If you don't go with ours, go with one of them. Everybody in the audience that is using a computer, if you're on a cell phone, again, one plan with these guys works on 6 different devices, so it covers everything. You can have one on your computer, your cell phone, your kid's computer, your kids' cell phones. Again, it has 6 simultaneous connections with one account. Kind of think of it like Netflix, how 3 TVs can be on. This can have 6 TVs on, equivalent, or 6 computers. So go to marfugelnews.com/VPN. This way, you actually save up to 70% on a 2-year or 3-year plan. And you actually help our channel out financially. So thank you guys. We really do appreciate it. And it hides your IP from the bad guys. Maturio Ministry says, there is no pre-tribulation rapture. Great tribulation coming soon. Repent and obey Yeshua. There is no pre-trib rapture. Oh, so you're saying that we would live through all the crap. Yeah. Again, lots of folks actually argue about pre-trib, post-trib. I just take it day by day and, pray that everything goes in the right direction. Now, Dex, we're going to get into this crazy stuff here. But again, first to go here, China orders military to be ready for conflict at any second as Brit aircraft carrier prepares to sail to South China Sea. I'll just read that one more time. China orders military to be ready for war at any second as Brit aircraft carrier prepares to sail to South China Sea. if something was going to pop off, we're looking at a whole lot of like, holy. Now, stuff happens a lot, and people go, oh, well, this was happening all the time. They'll even say, people have been saying it for years that we're going to conflict. I don't think people realize how big of a conflict, a world conflict is. Countries prepare, countries they get ready for it. And they even know that the other guy is too. It's like a board game. They're both building up their stuff. China is now the largest navy in the world by 70 ships. Just 2 years ago, they weren't. That's how fast they're building ships. We were just, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago, talking about China's first amphibious assault carrier, which, remember, they didn't have any carriers. In just a matter of months, since April, they now are on their third. Carriers. Amphibious ones. Remember, and the amphibious ones can go right up to the beach and let people off on vehicles, both boats and tanks. Crazy stuff. China has told its military to be ready to, quote, act at any second. This is the kind of story you would think you would hear from like Russia with the saber rattling, right? Amid rising tensions over disputed territories in the South China Sea. Just to remind you, the U.S. has been doing island hopping drills for now the last 2 years. It takes time to prepare this stuff. It comes as the UK's HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier is expected to be deployed to the region in the coming months as part of its first operational mission. This is Xi here, who has now made himself the president for life. And the heavenly mandate, the Chinese heavenly mandate, says that they have to be number one, and they will be number one at whatever cost. So God is telling them that they will be number one. Whether that means infiltration or whatever, they're going to do it. It's crazy stuff. I love how this one guy's like, whoa, that's a camera. Wow, that's a nice one. Because, they don't have cameras over there. Just kidding. They have cameras everywhere. Let's see. But really? Do you think Xi saw this? Or is he just cross-eyed? I don't know. I guess Xi is not like Kim. If Kim was like, if one guy was standing out of it, like, or missed the salute or something, and there was a picture of like him going like this, they would have the anti-aircraft weapons, rearing up. But who knows? Kim actually did something because a missed photo op with President DT. I remember hearing about a guy that got punished because he was in the background of a picture looking dumb. Yeah. But who knows if Xi is the same way. And then we have U.S. Air Force deploys airmen drones to a base in Romania. And we've got artillery in Alaska. We've got drills going on as we speak. And we have the South China Sea in our crosshairs. It says out of Bucharest, Romania, the U.S. Air Force has deployed about 90 airmen and an unspecified number of drone aircraft to a base in central Romania, boosting its number of drone aircraft to a base, and it says boosting its military presence in the region where there are allied concerns that Russia is trying to display its military strength. It says the Romanian Defense Ministry said Wednesday that the U.S. deployment in its Campia Târzel Air Force Base will be for a few months to conduct information gathering, surveillance, and research missions in the support of NATO operations. See, where NATO comes in is all this stuff. This has all been talked about, and I think it was talked about at the meeting. You build a burg... or a burger? Is it build a burger? There was a certain meeting, and trying to be careful there. They talked all about this. So I just wonder what is coming next. It says the forward and ready positioning of our MQ-9 Reaper drones at this key strategic location reassures our allies and partners, while also sending a message to our adversaries that we can quickly respond to any emergent threat. General Jeff Harrigan, U.S. Air Forces in Europe and Air Forces Africa commander, said in a statement. What do you think about this, Dex? And by the way, I am having like sneezes and I don't know if you guys can tell, my nose is just stuffed as all hell.
You know, recently we saw clubs that went down through some of our allied nations over there in Europe. And we've seen a lot of additional activity, whether we were putting monitoring systems on some of the islands that were close to Russia, sort of not to provoke, but to obviously continue to show strength and try to pick up more data and more information about movements from Russia. So it doesn't seem or a surprise that we see this happen. But at the same time, when you put it all into the big picture of what's going on, you know, at the cyber level, what's going on at the political level, and what's going on at the military level, and the movements and the tensions between allies of Russia and China, particularly one over in the ME that we're dealing with right now, it's not surprising to see that we're going to continue to push and move, you know, offensive and defensive equipment into different areas like this. So totally not surprising, but also should be alarming in some sense, that we need to think about how are we as a country and how are we as a world getting to the next level of, you know, conflict, and are we closer? Does each one of these moves take us closer and closer? And I think the answer is yes. And I certainly pray that never happens, but the writing's sort of on the wall right now that all of these moves are not meant to get along. They're really meant to either create conflict or show strength in a way and get what the other person wants from their adversary.
So some think that it's already happened, and what has happened here over the last year and over the last 4 or 5 months is the infiltration, and everything else, they did it quietly. They did it all without firing a shot, right? Look at what's happening. Look at how certain people backed out of the China task force. It's like if you've ever seen cases, and in fact, John Jasmer, this kid that got murdered when I was in high school, he was in my class. He was the same age as me, different school, but we were good friends. And what happened is he ended up getting killed, and his 2 best friends that killed him was really messed up. They hammered him, they shot him, they put a bag over his head, they buried him alive, did all sorts of things because this girl said that the guy, you know, got with her, and it was this guy's girlfriend. After they did this and buried him by this native tribal place, she told them that she was lying. She was just doing it for attention. All sorts of messed up. But my point being is that these kids helped and publicly helped search for him. I just wonder, you know, some of this stuff that's going on, it's like you have them stepping in and like kind of helping with it. I mean, this, Dex, do you get what I mean? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Trying to be
careful. I'm trying to read between the lines, but yeah, I think I get it. It's probably hard for others.
Basically they you know, why would they I guess why would they do that? It seems like they are doing something where it's very obvious that they're trying to make it look like they're not doing it. I guess I'm in dangerous territory here. It seems to me like we're extremely close. And I think there's a lot of people that agree, but now they're making it look like it's somebody else when it's really them. With the U.S., there's lots of stuff that basically points another direction when it very well might be from inside. Okay, well, so the China Task Force. They backed out of the China Task Force. Only one side and certain people that are now involved with all of the drama right now, they would not go on the task force. Well, why would you go on the task force where they're going to be investigating into all the stuff that you may be a part of? Do you guys get what I'm saying now? I was trying to put it in a way, but there's not one side of the party in that China Task Force. It's only the letter R and no letter D. I think that's weird. Even if you are, part of that party, that doesn't mean you're bad. But these guys, something is going on here. And look at what is going to happen. They're already saying they're going to reverse a lot of these things that, basically cut China out of the picture. It's pretty weird, to say the least.
Well, I mean, you can look at the public things that our administration has done and our government has done against that country, from technology to even software apps, right? Publicly pushing that stuff off and saying these are problems. I mean, so you can definitely read between those lines as you're trying to describe, right? That's
what I'm saying. It's pretty clear to me that they're already here. Like, this is already kicked off, but now they're figuring out the logistics of it, how they're going to do it. Because it's hard to fight a conflict when you don't know who your enemy is, and your enemies are all around you. There's a scenario right now where they're switching out people like crazy next to DT because he doesn't know who's actually on his side and who's a spy. I mean, that's a fact. They don't even, they even told, and this is something I don't think we covered, but I forgot to put it in. They wanted to change out Pence's security, the people that are closest, and change them out with security that was good with T-Man. Some weird stuff, Secret Service kind of stuff. Like, even the Secret Service was, at risk. Anyways, we'll talk about it tomorrow. If you guys did not get here in the beginning, remember, we're doing a very special show, D-Live only, over on D-Live. We're going to talk about a ton of stuff, so make sure to be there tomorrow. We'll put the post, we'll send out notifications. Make sure to sign up for notifications at marfugelnews.com. Again, if you're missing them, then get ours. We have our own push notifications. Definitely don't want to miss tomorrow's show. We've got big stuff. All right, and if you're a replay watcher, hopefully you'll get there live. But otherwise, if you're mad about it being over there, just remember you can go to the link on the website after it's done, or it might actually be the next day. But you'll be able to see the full replay the next day at least. Now, it says major U.S. airlines back a global testing requirement. And you know what they're testing for, obviously. It is the event that everybody is talking about. Everybody's jiving. Everybody's living it. Don't you love this CV? It says a group representing major U.S. airlines on Monday backed a proposal by public health officials, which that's a whole nother block and a whole nother group there, to implement a global testing program requiring negative tests before most international air passengers return to the U.S., according to a letter seen by Reuters. Pretty crazy stuff that's going on here. And obviously, if it goes up the totem pole and there's money involved at any point of the totem pole, then things can get screwed up. Pretty crazy stuff. All right, and then this is to leave out on a positive note. This is something I wanted to put in on actually the last show. A police officer paid for a family's Christmas groceries instead of charging two women with shoplifting. So I have actually seen something very similar to this in real life at a Target, I want to say, or maybe it was even Kmart. It was a while back. But a lady with 3 kids was stealing food in the stroller. Similar situation happened here. Well, the cop back then, I remember, ended up giving her a $50 bill and paid for her stuff so she wouldn't go to jail. I just remember it was really, you could just tell that the kids, they were just, poor as could be. But is that right? That's actually what I want to ask you guys, because I think that, this is a good one to get an opinion on. We've got all sorts of folks here. Grace for you too. Thank you for supporting Lou Rock. Thank you over on DLive. KF Property sounds like CV. Drill away. Rapture soon 2020. Praise to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate your comments there. Cat Zoom, keep looking up. Yep, absolutely. Love you, Dex and Adam. KG Stasic, thank you. KG Property. Can we talk about other news than just space? LOL. Well, actually, we covered quite a bit of non-space. Trek Prepper 53, pray that God puts real conviction on Pence. Zippy, what is going on? Thank you so much for your massive support tonight. Southern Ninja, the recalcitrant. Special shout out for Gone Girl 777, probably out camping or finding some sort of crazy adventure. But if you're watching the replay, just know that we're here for you. Tabby Cat, the recalcitrant. June M. Ashley, thank you so much. Tupid Twacker, I love it. Tupid Twacker. Quest Everything. Sigix, thank you for following. Lots of new people. So here's the story. Basically what happened is, it's pretty simple. 2 women were stealing. It says a Massachusetts police officer used his own money to buy Christmas dinner for a family in need instead of charging 2 women with shoplifting. Somerset police officer Matt Lima was called to a Stop and Shop grocery store on December 20th after store security said the woman didn't scan anything that they put in their bags at a self-checkout register. It says the woman, who had 2 small children with them, were stopped as they left the store. It says, I have 2 girls myself, similar to the ages of the 2 girls that were there, so it kind of stuck with me a little bit. It says Lima took one of the women aside so they could talk about what happened without the children hearing. Store employees kept the kids occupied so they wouldn't know what was going on. It says, quote, the woman I talked to, she explained she was working, but the mother of the children was not working and had some other family issues going on. And what she had taken was Christmas dinner for the kids. Lima told the WJR. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. But at the same time, coming from, living in bad areas and stuff like that, was it just that Christmas dinner? This is like really sad because, she's getting that Christmas dinner, which may be the one thing that she just wouldn't take. But is this a one-time thing? Like, is this like a person who normally doesn't steal, but this year it's so bad off that she ended up stealing so her kids wouldn't be deprived of a single Christmas or a single Christmas dinner? Or are these, 2 ladies like scammers and they do it every single time? Like, they knew to go to self-checkout and then not scan all the stuff. It sounds like they might be doing it all the time. Is that a good thing to set an example for? If you show the kids like, oh, I can steal and then the cops are going to bail me out and pay for my stuff. Can you see where there's like a divide and like, this is so sad and like such a pretty story, but at the same time, it does have room to be like, kind of messed up. And maybe this guy's gullible and they gave him a sob story and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And here's, was he a Gomer Pyle or was he a guardian angel? That's what I want to have your opinion on. I honestly thought it was a really awesome thing. I feel like this cop had a really, really big heart. And, there's a lot of cops like this. I've met so many cops like this. That's why when all this stuff went down, it's like, why are you blindly judging people? These are people under just pieces of fabric and metal. There's a lot of them with once they get the power, it goes straight to their head and they're just jerks. But there are so many really good police officers. Some of them are watching right now. I guarantee it. And you guys are so amazing. And every single time I see a police officer, I tell them thank you. And I don't care if you hate me for saying that. I go up to them. I'll chase them down. I'll say, hey, thank you for your service. Military, same thing. If we were at, Walmart earlier, I showed my daughter, I said, when we see this, we go up and we say thank you. And I say, hey, and I have my 5-year-old and I have my 14-year-old do it. When my 1-year-old's old enough, I'm going to tell them, when you see them, if you see somebody wearing fatigues and their name, you walk up and you say thank you. And I think that's how it should be. So either way, I think that in my mind, the police probably did the right thing. I wonder, though, is he a new recruit? Because if he was on the service for 20 years, then I would actually believe that these women were just doing it that. Because this guy probably had the BS detector of all life, Cops can see right through, bull crap. So what do you guys think? Lou Rock, thank you so much. Cynical Skeptic, thank you. 71 Trolla, thank you for following. Copper Tropicals, hey, it's nice to see you. Again, I actually mention you a lot. If I mention Dutch, I mention you as well. Show kindness, pay it forward to someone today. The truth is out there. Thank you so much for your massive support. I'm sure you and others like End Times and people like that, we actually support a lot of folks over on the platform. And that is exactly what it's about. It's about paying it forward. Desert Granny, thank you for being here. Out of the Woods, Chrissy 27, Simp Kapoor. That is a good one. Zookeeper Kims and that Chowky Gal. Look and listen. Thank you for following. Appreciate that. Dex, what do you think about the police buying the dinner? Do you think it was a sweet thing or?
Well, what he ended up doing was he looked through like she'd used a receipt. She bought some stuff, but she didn't scan a lot of things. So he looked through everything that it was, and when he realized it was food, that's when he got soft, right? And I guess I admire that in some sense, but I guess you still have to think about that whole BS detector. But what he did was only charge them with trespass. Didn't even charge them, just wrote them a notice for it. And then he bought a $250 gift card so they could go buy the groceries at another grocery store, which was so they could have their dinner. So I think that was a pretty huge.
That's actually a lot.
It's a lot of money on his
Christmas.
part.
Gosh, were they in Seattle? I don't think we've spent $250 on a Christmas dinner. If you went all out like a full on, dang, were they grabbing steaks? Shoot. I guess I came from we do everything try to do it affordably or we've gotten by on so little most of my life that $250 on a Christmas dinner. What do you dang, you guys get what I mean? But yeah,
he had a big heart, obviously, a very big heart.
Yeah, I don't fault him either way. I would fault the women, if anything. Like I've met some people just in general that they can shice themselves into anything or out of anything, and it's just like, how do you live with yourself at night? It sounds like these women genuinely may have done it, but I don't know. Let's go over to the general chat here. It looks like ribeye roast ain't cheap. Yeah, that's true. If you actually go with one of the traditional ones, at least, ham's expensive. If you go with traditional, let's see here, pork alone. That's funny. $250 month of groceries, Sharon M says. Yeah, no, I'm saying it depends on where you live. Here, that's not much. It's about $100 a day to live here, groceries wise. It's pretty crazy. Let's see here. But if you have kids, could be more. Let's see here. My corn checks got soggy. Damn it, man. I Pet Mermaid. Natty Jawika Maduka says Sharon M. What's going on? He probably bought them groceries for the week. Yeah, probably did, especially gift card status. Roasted ramen when time gets rough. Yeah, that was the thing too. Roasted ramen, beans, macaroni and cheese, hot dogs, and you would get like the cheapo, like, you know, Circle K hot dogs. Fergus Macrioke, $250 is not a big grocery bill. No, here, that's nothing. That's like you got 3 or 4 days worth of food at most here. Ilea says, I spend over $500 a month on groceries. I think everybody does. But for a single dinner, that's what I was saying. A single dinner, $250. That's what I was saying. Yeah, no, I get you. That's about 3 or 4 meals, in my opinion, if you do it right. Let's see here. Help others in need. You never know when it may be brought back in kind. 6 glasses of hot dog water a day, says Pazel. That is gross. Pazel, don't do that, please. I'm not responsible. Let's see here. I bought a 5 ribeye roast for $12 at Thanksgiving that was normally $80. Oh, and sales and the what do you call it? The coupon people, man. I've always been jealous of that. I could never do it.
Dude, that vacuum sealer comes in handy. You get that meat on discount, and you know it's about to expire. You vacuum seal it and freeze it. Love it.
Yeah, I've never. You talk about conserving and sealing and keeping your food. We're not there yet. We're learning how to can and stuff, but some of the people like Homesteading in the Heartland, great channel to watch about canning. Great channel as far as that goes. All right, well, it seems like everybody, yeah. Somebody says, I get by on $200 food per month. Pirates, a Paradise Bar. Yeah, no, I've gotten by on it as well. Let's see here. In fact, that's usually what Washington gives for food stamps as far as like the standard for the last 10 years was like $200 if you were homeless or $220, something like that per person. All right, let's see here. All right, well, we are all done. We, again, will be having a full-on call-in show tomorrow. Again, we do the call-ins earlier, so it will be around 6 to 7 o'clock. We will give you an official notice tomorrow. Again, it very well could be earlier if we end up doing our stuff. We're going to do a survey over on Twitter earlier tomorrow. And make sure to follow us over there at Marfugel on Twitter. In fact, you can go there right now and follow. Let's see here. And you can click this. In fact, I just clicked out again. If you just followed, we just clicked the link for that again. So you'll see it pop up in your notifications. At Marfugel is the account. And that is where we send out the actual notification. You click on it, and it will bring you right here to YouTube or to DLive. Thank you for all of the massive support tonight. Red Horn, thank you. Desert Grana, Cheryl from Daytona, Kiwi Cat, Mountain Lace, thank you all. It is now officially time for the shoutro. Dex, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I think it's a perfect time. It's not a shout out. And it's not an outro, but it's a what?
So what is it?
It's a shoutro.
Say it one more time.
It's a shoutro.
Wow, you were supposed to say the O very long, like shoutro.
Walking on the street like a G.I. Joe. You know that man has some flow. Walking on the street like a G.I. Joe. You know that man has some flow. Walking on the street like a G.I. Joe. You know that man has some flow. I got going back with your uncle. Shady on the J-Bring. Everybody really want the Scarlet and the Vango 54. With the Lori and Amy D. You got the Chicago artist. And the Amy Ray and the everybody wanna be a part. Yeah. Hey, mommy, jam and jam. Got the comet moon now and then. Lori D and the Shirley Ground. Rocking on the out, now you go. With the La Rivera, Ekalaka, Enid, bring it right back. Wow, big Patriot, mommy, Kiki on the Kuba. Bring it on the scene on the island. By the sea, but no, you don't wanna bring it with me. Ilea and the Raquel R and the Carrie Rock and the Lori D and the Shastina. With my news all soft, with the Shaika, I'll bring it right back now, Mr. Rika. With the Susan Big and the Kaika, I do it down like Mr. Saika. Ah, 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 la 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 la. I lost a YouTube viewer. It's okay, I got one more newer. I got 4 subscribers as you left out. The Susan Big and the Putin Boots now. Oh, now. With the Tooties out there, bring it. With the sunny beach over there now. With the red in the valley and next day. Got the chest go popping over there now. Remember the beat of the Monroe. With the Bill Light breaking reed. Gotta go back down and you know. Like G.I. Joe. Walking on the street like a G.I. Joe. You know that man has some flow. Walking on the street like a G.I. Joe. You know that man has some flow. With the trigger and I'll bring it on down. He'll got my bag of wine. With the watching on the Huskies. Billy on the Breckenridge. That Shuggy guy on the Warren on the field. On the 7 on the plow. Hey, with the guy, I love the Beagles, I love the Poochie Woo, I love the Amy Ray. Hey, I love the Comet Moon and the Giant Penny, all with the giant on the giant on the Pennyway. Hey, now with the Stormy on the Walker and the Sky House, gotta do it like I never did all night. With the Taj Dog and the Edgy Well, man has some flow. Oh, with the blinder and the we'll bring it down. With the Missa, Heina and the bring it on down. And the Grabner, with the Scott and the Huru TV. I said Huru, I said Huru. And on the street like a G.I. Joe. Go swimming, I'll bring it down. Bring it like the guy in the autumn breezes now. Hey, with the backward ingenuity, do what everybody then do to me. With the gin on die high doses, bring it right back with them roses. All the misfit patter on the posies, going right back, no they know me. Everybody wanna go on rose. Oh, everybody wanna go back. Oh, you know it now. Take Gonna do it just like Sunday. Gonna bring it like that Sunday. Do it like a Sunday. Bring it on a Monday. Oh, I think I'm done. Susan down the hill with the running with the scissors. Lit all LRD. Bring it right back like an iPad mermaid. Oh, gotta go see where we went wrong. Gotta go see where we went wrong. Got to go check it, am I correct? Got the number and I got it wrong. I did it all day long. It doesn't really matter with the no store room. You're doing it for fun. Hidden in plain sight, humanity is not ready. And we know rock steady with everything we know. And the last flash, it will be like Guardians and everybody's ass. And the unidentified Fridays been doing better with the shifting priorities, going better when the things are looking down. Things are looking up. Flight of the Navigator was number 1. Holy moly, did we miss a jet? I think we did. Dex, I hope we can check that. They would be number 28 on our... Yep, that is it. They must have... Unless they gifted 10 million badges. Holy moly. Flight on the Navigator, never waiting later. Head bobbing with the talent and the Morrison. Old talented like an old Mr. Morrison. Like the old band, now we know him. Flight navigator, never waiting later. 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 Flight navigator. Oh, and the truth is out there in the Johnson, doing everything he can now. He's the off mom, off the mop, and in the empty ain't. I don't got no use with my nose. I bring him right back with the cat on Zoom. I got the cat on the cat on Zoom. I got that cool disabled, yeah. Put it disabled on the bed, back on back down, putting on the whip. C-A-N-O-M, bring right back and got them jams. Got the sequel and the sweet and savory words in the ordinary every day. Big with the time traveler and the taxi, going right back and now you're checking. David on the corner and everybody does it. A Pamela Gasper on the closet, and the got Montana on the CrossFit. And the Dove Osborne, a good job by the car, bring it home, bring the pop. Oh now, every ready, oh now, jogging out, oh. I like the way that we do it now. I like the way that we do it now. Oh, love it oh so much in my. Oh, wait, truth is out there, sitting in my light. Truth is out there, not so fair. Truth is out there, never so fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. It's hard to be hard when you're grabbing on your food card. Getting that on steak, getting that steak on the government benefits. Yeah, if that's what you into, Mr. Jim Sue. Or maybe getting you some ramen and some dim sum. Oh wait, maybe it's dim sum or Dilly J. Hey, let me get a little of some. Hey, let me get that chip ice cream with the generic on that. I got the ice cream without the CE, cause it's just eye cream. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. The eye cream for the eye cream, cause I can't afford some ice cream. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. But the good thing is my eyes look right. No saggy under my eyes. Yeah, it's not always fair. The truth is out there, it's not always fair. Boom boom, had the cats on. Do like the cats on. Boom boom, 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 cats on. Got it woman on Hulu TV. Still watching I'm back a few minutes ago. Had the wine with the jazz in the oil. Return commentating, whole feels like heaven. Oh, got it coming up. Oh, with the Tommy B. Come up here and you never go and see me. Come in the house, all both guys. Bring it right back, like it's going to all right. I'm gonna do it right, I'll run that car. Garcia with his arm, them all big. It's going down, and you know that we're kicking. Bring it right back, and you know that we're no. Oh, gotta bring it on down. Oh, gotta go down, go. And then bring it on 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 down. Put some boots in the what? 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 No, I actually disappeared. Oh, the batteries died. Oh, gotta say it on live. Oh, I will never rewind. Whoa, bring it down with the band. Oh, I'm about to bring it on the down now. I love because I let off in the dash now. Gotta do it just like it on the know now. Any idea when the south goes started? Echo one when the hug goes, but the party. Bring it back down, so party like the retarded commentator. Bring it back now, doing no haters. Seen nothing, I 1 hour 44 minutes with the person blues doing everything. I love lucky. Bring it down, and I stumbled on this channel and I found a money go now. Going back now with the Roblet on the Robot, with the Robot, with the Roblet, with the Roblet, with an LED ID and the Rob, with the moon, with the IOD, with the one, with the light wheel, with the one, and the bring it right back down. Slow it down now, got to bring it down now. Gotta speed it up again, and now I gotta do it on the spot. Hey, I still laugh at far. Bobby on the jazz, Cote on the bars. Gonna bring it up with the space on the call. Hey, with the river on goodbyes. Bring it right back in the slow on by. I wanna bring it with the watching on these guys. Oh, do it out with a new on fly. Bring it right with the I love a big lie. Boom. Gotta bring it right back. Gotta bring it right back. Oh, gotta bring it right back. Oh, oh. Google family, the best pull that so. And bring it on ferry, go to it, do. Gotta bring it back, like I do it on that. And the drum won't rap, or with the back to play. Bono, with the back now. Going back down to the back now. Do it right, I'll do right now. Oh.
Gotta bring the Chevy circle. Gotta do it like the color purple. Able-bodied and everybody hurt you. Gotta do it like Julia Freedom. Gotta do it like I ain't dumb. Gonna do it like Sunny Beach Girl. Gonna do it like Jesse Fremont. Or maybe it's Figmont Tunchon. Gonna do it like Cool on Attention. Bring it back with a vibration. Frequencies of light. Gonna do it helium style and I gonna bring it right back. Oh, all night. Star Wars. Do it, everybody know. Star Wars. Gonna do what everybody know. Everybody gotta know. USA News. Gonna bring it to go.
Do it like this and I do it like that. Truth is out there and I love this song. Do it right back and I'm wearing my thong. Oh, gotta bring it right back. Angela Webster doing it like that. Oh, I said it what? I meant sandals. Like that Diva Boys doing it now. Most of all Google News found her in the bow. Bring it right back like you do it like that. Then we'll have to go back like it whoop nah nah, whoop nah nah. Then bring it right back.
I like gonna do it on the tar. Sucked on a balloon, hee-ha. Bring it back like, oh yeah, see-ha. I'm about to go back and see ya. Yeah, sounds like a chipmunk. Sounds like chihuahuas. I love 'em. Don't be a hum 'em. Don't be a pushover, numb 'em. Bring it right back in it, yes, I say yum yum. Sweet favorite words, gonna eat 'em up.
say gayness? Do you like, oh yeah?
Gotta bring it on back now. Bring it on back now. Bring it on back now. Pass me the curtsy, doing everything gay. Gonna bring it back, put and boot tag. Gonna do it, everybody, I'm no. I'm gonna go back and they no. Hey, that kombucha. I love her, yeah. I'm bringing her back like that bound. Gonna do it like two kids out there. Take that mask off. Gonna be like, take that mask off. Bring it right back, do it every day. I'm not to say I ain't the whoa. With the bill I recommend. Hey, I'm with this bill. Oh. Cat zoom, la-da-da-ba-ba. Cat zoom, la-da-da-ba-ba. Cat zoom, and flight as a navigator. Oh, bring it right back, I'll see you later. Boom. I do it every day. I bring it on the way. Hey, I love you today. Oh, I say it like this. Oh.
I've got to bring it back now. I've got to bring it back now.
Master. Real talk, R.N. I love a Vigos with a Beverly's and I feel like the freaking bitch and the truth is if they would die, afflicted patriot, chili J and I love Vigos and the crazy no feeling and I'm barefoot last and pushing foods and truth is out there and everybody knows that the recalcitrant is about to do it and then just to do it like this dance. I love a Vigos faster and now you know that plaster is coming off of the walls cause I'm shaking it all up like the Sonny Beach Girl in the Jenny J. Bring it right back with the jukebox and 2020. I love you, I love 2 hours and Nambi. I'm not bringing it like the oh, and I'm contraband, I'm Guru TV and the flow. Oh, barefoot, let's in it, Jelly J. A remaker. See ya. Round out of names. With the Sharon D, oh, I'm back. Bring it back down on that day. Oh, I do it every day. Fantastic, Marvin and Bay. Trickster, get it back. Oh, I do it back around. Oh, now I would recalcitrant. Hey, I'm casting up a back. Able bodied, everybody knows our recolor and boots are so wearing. I know it will be. I've been waiting that you got to go.
I love the big girls. 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 Sherry on the circle in the color purple. A Bobby James cold taste, sipping syrup. I'll make a DFW, Jackie in some circles. With a nam they on the back of booyah on the Maduka. Bring it with the glorious and D's and the Burleys. M9, everybody, oh so fine. Do you love